Hello everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to mypinkstamper.com. Today I have a winter Christmas card for you. Now I know we still have 5 or 6 months until Christmas, but it is never too early to start preparing and start planning your Christmas projects. Before you know it, Christmas will be here and you'll wonder where the time went. So we'll go ahead and I'm hopping in with this is one of my most favorite that we carry in the catalog. It's been around for a couple years, 1.5 years. It's called Christmas Pines and I absolutely love it. The coordinating framelit set is called Pretty Pines. So I'm going to be using both of these today. All of the item codes and description will be directly on my screen. If you would like to order any of these supplies, you can order them directly from my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. Okay, let's go ahead and hop right in and get started. We will start with our big shot work first. I have all my cardstock ready to go. Let me get my big shot out. This is the Stampin' Up! Big Shot. If you haven't tried it yet, it is amazing. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to be able to do a lot of these cuts at the same exact time. So I will go ahead and put this is real red cardstock. And with the real red, I'm going to use the small bow. This set comes with 2 size bows. And I'm going to have this one hang off just a little bit just because I'm going to just need this part right here. As long as it is on top of the platform, you are good. Okay, the next one I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and grab my scissors and I'm just going to cut so we have more room. I'm going to use one of the pines on this piece of CRUMB cake cardstock, and I'm using this one right here. There's 3 different pines that you can cut out, so we'll cut out that one right here. And then I'm going to be cutting another pine using this early espresso cardstock. Just all you need is a little scrap. So if you have little scraps left over from other projects, this is the perfect card to make. And then I'm using this one here. Okay, and now I'm going to put the old olive cardstock on here, and we're going to be cutting all 3 of these pines, the pine needles, is that what you call them? I don't know what they're called actually. So I'm going to put this one on here, and then I'm going to do the medium one. And then we'll just have one more cut and we'll cut it on the white after. But I'm able to do all of this in one motion. So all I'm going to do is stick my cutting pad on the top and I'm going to run it through forward. And I'm also going to run it through going back just because some of these are super intricate and I want to get a nice clean cut. So I'm just going to set these aside for now and I'm going to go ahead and do my white really quick. And then we'll pop those out of there in just a second. I'm going to put this right on here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go forward and back. And then I'm going to set my big shot aside. That's all of the big shot work that we need. So we can set our machine aside. And now I can go ahead. Now what I highly recommend is using one of our paper piercers or our big shot die brush. I think I'm saying that right. And you can kind of just run it across there. It helps it to pop out a little bit easier. This little piece here is stuck. It doesn't want to. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that out. I've got one of my pieces. Ta-da! I'm going to put that aside. And now I can set this aside as well. These ones want to kind of pop out on their own already. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the die brush with this one. Or you can just use, like I said, the paper piercer to kind of poke through gently. Poke these through the little holes. Sometimes they get pretty stuck in there, so just be patient and pull slowly out. You never want to pull out super fast. You could tear the cardstock. And this one is already cut. So So we can just take it out. It's in the cardstock already here. Okay. Just want to carefully pull this out here. There we go. Okay, I don't care about the bottom half because the bottom half's going to be cut anyway on that one. Okay. Pop this one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and have to pop this one a little bit. And if you can get just a nice, the edge to come out, you can just lightly pull it out. There we go. We have our little pine cone. And this one I'm going to do the same thing. That one's just going to pop out like that. This one has a lot of little holes in it, so it's kind of nice to just run it through your die brush. Get all those little holes out. You can just poke the rest out that don't come out. No problem. So it's still like 90 degrees here in Utah where I live, so it's kind of weird that I'm making a Christmas card, but like I said, before I know it, we get a lot of snow here. It gets pretty cold where I live, so it'll happen in the blink of an eye. Oh, I forgot this one here. So we'll also do our bow. Oops. Don't want to drop this on my toe. That would hurt. Just kind of poke this. Poke it. Okay. And there we go. Ta-da. All right. We'll go ahead and put this card together. We're going to be doing a little bit of stamping, and we're using the Noel. So really all we're using from this stamp set is the Noel, but there's so many coordinating stamps and sentiments that go perfectly with this Pretty Pines framelit set. Okay, I have the Early Espresso ink pad, and I want to point this out. It says images at 60%. So when you look at the front, and even in the catalog, they're going to actually be bigger in person. And they did that to make room so they all fit on the front of this stamp set. So I just grabbed one of our clear blocks. And Noel. Oh, it looks like I need to do one more cut with the Big Shot. I just am noticing that. Oh, we'll do that in just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp our Noel off to the left. We need room for one more thing on the right. So we have everything ready to go and put together. One more cut with my die cut machine, the Big Shot. I'm going to be doing this one right here. I'll do this off screen, and I'm doing this one in Old Olive. Okay, I have our final die cut from the Big Shot, and it's time to start putting this together. So this piece of Whisper White was cut at 1.5 by 4 inches. And now I'm going to add that onto a piece of our crumb cake cardstock that is cut at 1 3/4 by 4 inches. So I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to use some of our snail adhesive, and I want the edges to be flush, so really all you see is just a strip of the crumb on the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to take this last little cut that I did right here, and I want this to be right here, kind of hanging off right there. So I am going to turn this over, and I'm using our fine tip glue pen. I'm going to just pull the top off. This has a nice pointy metal tip that sticks in the end, and that helps it so it doesn't clog up. So make sure you put it right after you put it right back. So I just quickly squeeze this on here. I just put a little bit. A little goes a long way with this. You don't want to squeeze it too much. You don't want it all over. Okay, I'm going to have this be on here, and I just hold it down. That's all I do. Now I'm going to make sure that I put my fine tip glue pen, I put the edge right in, and I just use my finger right here to guide it in, and then twist it. And I'm going to set this aside. That's all that you need this for. Okay, so I have that on there, and I can set this aside for just a second. We'll go ahead and fold this piece of 8.5 5.5 by 8.5 old olive cardstock. I'm going to fold that in half with my bone folder. And now I'm using some of our beautiful designer series paper that is in the current catalog. I'll have the item code along with the name because I can't think of the name right now, you guys. So I'll have that on top of the screen for you on the bottom. Not the top, the bottom. This is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I love this one because it works perfectly with this stamp set. It coordinates so wonderfully. So I'm going to go ahead and add this onto a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And this is Early Espresso cardstock. I had to pause a second. I'm not sure exactly how I'm putting it on the screen today. All right, so I'll go ahead and add that on here. Let's go ahead and just turn this over, and we'll add this right on top of our old olive. And do you like how it just pulls out all of the colors? Now the other colors that they used on this, they used blueberry, bushel, and they also used shaded spruce. So you could pull those colors out of this designer series paper too if you'd like. Okay, we'll go ahead and I'm going to take this strip here and we're going to get a little fancy here. We're going to use these pieces here. This is super easy, you guys. This is the way I like to do my projects, super easy. So I kind of put them how I want them to be. I think I want this one to be a little bit taller. So I'm going to do this. So I have them like that. I'm going to grab just regular tape. I love just using regular tape. And I'm going to stick this on the back so it's they're kind of pulling out right there. Okay. Now I'm just going to take some tape and just tape them. That's it. Ta-da! That's not really anything fancy, but it's super easy, and now I'm done. Okay, now I can take some of our Stampin' dimensionals, and I can pop these up. I'll do the 4 on the corners, but then I'm also going to reinforce this here, and I'll stick one on top of it and one kind of next to it. Take the backings off the dimensionals, and we're going to add this to the bottom-ish area. You'll want to leave a little strip of the designer series paper showing. The paper will go from Early Espresso to Early Espresso. It should go from edge to edge. And now we're going to take these 2 pieces here, and I'm going to use actually some glue dots. So I have these are our glue dots. And I'm just going to put one here. It's going to show up a little bit through. You can kind of maneuver it around a little bit. It's not really going to matter. Once I put it on here, it all kind of just blends in together. So I'm going to take that there, and now I'm taking one more glue dot, putting it on the top of my ribbon here, and kind of with my fingernail, I'm making it so it's a little bit smaller so you can't really see it through. And then I'm just going to add that right on the top, and it kind of covers up everything that you don't want to show through. And now on the back of this, I'll just take 2 dimensionals, and I'm going to add them just on the back of the Early Espresso pine cone. And then I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this on the top right. Now I'm not finished just yet. The last finishing touch I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of our red rhinestones. These are lovely. I'm not sure if you've tried them yet. They are amazing. I'm going to add them on just some of these here. You could probably add them anywhere you wanted to on this card. I'm just going to add a few. So I'll just add 3. And so here is my completed card, you guys. Anyone can do this. Are you getting so super excited to start your Christmas cards yet? If this is your first time watching one of my videos and you're interested in learning how to make these, you could just follow this video step by step. It's super easy. Any level of paper crafter can create these cards. You can find more videos and projects and giveaways directly on my website, mypinkstamper.com. You can visit me on my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.